Hey, this is how you play Unhappy Trails. It's a solo card game about trying to complete the Oregon Trail from Kansas City to Oregon, to covering 20 and 100 miles, kind of like the classic computer game. You start by choosing who you want to be. There are different roles you can be in the game. I think for this video, I'll do this. You could also do that randomly if you wanted. I'm going to start as the socialite. It says you are a socialite, and the special text is when you resolve a distance 0 event, we'll get to that later, you may take one random card from the discard pile as a companion. This little icon up in the corner means companion. That means that the card is one of the companions in your train to Oregon, your wagon train. Also at the bottom, note that it says this is you. You must survive to win the game. So remember that. You don't want to die. Now, you start by dealing yourself 7 cards. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And among these, you can choose to keep as many as you want, and you can keep them either as companions in your caravan, or you can keep them as resources. So when a card is upright like this with that symbol in the upper right-hand corner, it's a companion. When the card is like this, it's a resource. So in this case, it's a tool. That's a bullet. That's food, and that's what you have for resources in the game: food, bullets, and tools. So I am going to keep that tool. I'm going to keep one bullet, and this card is a double food. So I'm going to keep that one. And I think I'm going to take these other two and shuffle them back in the deck. You don't always want to keep all 7 cards, because the game ends when the deck runs out. And if you're not to Oregon by that time, then you lose. So sometimes it pays to keep some cards in your deck. Now, a quick little thing about these companions. First of all, they all have their own special text. I won't go into all the details, but you get an idea of it. Yep, and there's some more special text there. They all have their special abilities, but they can also be wounded. Notice the sad face there on the card. So when a companion gets wounded, you turn it sideways to show that it's wounded. And when it's wounded, you can't use any of the special ability text. Now, you can be wounded as well. When a companion takes a second wound, they die, and they just go to the discard pile. And then, as I said before, if you die, you lose the game. So you don't want that to happen. Now, to play the game, it's all ready to begin. Flip an event card. Yeah, a classic dysentery. So this event, you can choose to resolve it, or you can choose to skip it. Now, if you resolve it, you have to do what it says. In this case, pay a food or take a wound. If you resolve it, you score that many miles. In this case, 100 miles. So it's 2,100 miles to Oregon. This would be 100 of them. And I do think paying 1 food, well, see, I have this double food card, and I don't have any other food. So if I paid 1 food, it would cost me 2. I don't know if I want to do that. So I think I'm going to skip that event. It stays out here for now because there are other cards that refer to events that you skipped. It stays here for now. At the end of the round, it's going to go into the discard pile. But I'm skipping it, and I'm going on to the next one. Ooh, the desert. Okay. So this one says pay food equal to your companion cards and take 1 wound for each food not paid. And this is 200 miles. It's a little bit rougher of an event, but you get 200 miles for it. I think I am going to resolve this one because I have this double food card. So I have 3 companions, so that means I have to pay 3 food. This is 2 of them. Get rid of that. And now I am going to have to wound somebody. And I think I am going to wound the politician. So I'm looking over their special abilities and seeing which ones I want to keep. All right, so I resolve that event. This goes up in my score pile for 200 miles, and dysentery goes away. And I go on to the next event. Rough terrain. So this one, again, is 200 miles, so it's a little bit harder of an event. Pay up to 2 tools, discard a card from the top of the deck for each tool not paid. So I think I'm going to resolve this one as well. I'm not going to skip it. I'm going to discard one of my one tool here. Discard that, and then I have to get rid of a card from the top of the deck. Okay. But then I can score this one, and now I have gone 400 miles. And that's pretty much how you, oh yeah, that's a bad one. I'll show you this one, Bandits. So it's 300 miles, and that's the worst you can get. It says pay up to 3 bullets, take a wound, or pay 2 generic resources for each bullet not paid. Let's see, I have 1 bullet, so I would have to, if I resolve that event, I'd have to pay this bullet and wound both of these. Let's see, or I could wound. All right, I'll play this out. I'm going to play this out. So let's say I decide to resolve this. And I have to pay up to 3 bullets. So here's one of them. All right. The second one, I'm going to take as a wound on this guy, so he dies. But the Pilgrim's special ability comes into play. It says when you are about to discard a companion, you may discard Pilgrim instead, and then take up to 2 cards at random from the discard pile as resources. So instead of discarding that guy, I discard Pilgrim. I take 2 cards from up to 2 cards at random from the discard pile as resources. So when I do that, maybe I'll get some bullets. No, maybe I'll get a bullet. Nope, no bullets. But I did get 2 resources. Now, instead of taking that other wound, I could pay those 2, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take that last wound, lose him, and then I score those 300. So now I'm at 700 miles. I've gone a third of the way to Oregon. Unfortunately, almost everyone is dead except for me, but I do have two tools there, so got that going for me. That's how you play the game.